It's New Year's Eve, and after a year like this, I think we're all looking to celebrate a little bit better than we have in years past. So I want to give you a couple of tips that will help out with your celebrations tonight. First of all, if you're not accustomed to opening bottles of sparkling wine or champagne, let's clarify exactly how we do it, because ultimately this becomes a loaded weapon. If you don't know, there are 90 pounds per square inch of pressure inside this bottle. And we want to keep as much of it in the bottle as possible to ensure that our bubbles stay bubbly as we're enjoying them tonight. So this is a shout out to the woman in Atherton, California, who in 2003 made me cry at a holiday party because I, at the time, didn't know how to open a bottle of Dom Perignon. To her, if you happen to be watching this, I hope you're less unhappy than you were back then. Most bottles of sparkling wine are going to have a little pull tab on the capsule. It makes them very, very easy to open. Find that pull tab, pull it. It should pull the top part of this foil capsule off. Prestige cuvées like Dom Perignon and some others that you may be upgrading to this year don't have that sort of pull tab. So simplest thing to do, take your wine key and just cut around the bottom of the foil. So if you cut the foil just like you would a regular capsule, then it'll give you access. Ultimately, what we're looking for is this little pull tab that is hidden underneath of the foil. This pull tab, once you've accessed it, you're gonna turn this 7 times. From the time this capsule, the cage around the capsule is undone, your thumb, your hand, something never leaves the top of this bottle, because this is when we've essentially engaged all of the pressure that's inside. So best thing to do is to employ a good old serviette like we would in a restaurant. Yes, those cloths that you'll see us carrying as a sommelier over our arms, they're there for good reason. So that cage can be a little bit sharp, so you get your serviette over top of it, and then what we're gonna start doing is twisting the bottle. So we're gonna twist the bottle while applying pressure to the cork itself at the top of the bottle, and just keep twisting. You'll feel the cork start to give, and as you do, keep applying more pressure so that ultimately, when you open the bottle, you barely hear a sound at all. You should be able to open this without the rest of the house knowing that you're doing it, which means you don't have to share as much of it. So that's our bottle opened. No noise, no fuss, no shooting corks. So that's the best way to go about this. The second thing I want to tell you is, particularly if you're upgrading to champagne this year, we probably have flutes. This is an upgraded flute. You'll see that it is a little bit wider at the tip than most flutes are. This is one that I actually do like. But when you hear the word flute, I want you to associate it with the term fruit, because a flute is going to emphasize the fruitier flavors of any sparkling wine. So if you have something like Prosecco, you have something like Moscato, something that you don't want the bubbles to dissipate in particularly quickly, and those will, because they're not made in the traditional champagne method. Or if you have a New World sparkling wine that's very, very fruit forward, flutes can be your friend. They can emphasize that fruit character. This is my favorite tasting glass for sparkling wine. See how narrow the nose is? And we've got a little bit wider space at the bowl. This is a tulip glass. This is a perfect all-purpose sparkling wine tasting glass. This is great. The next upgrade, if you're drinking a little fuller-bodied, more Pinot Noir or Pinot Meunier based champagne blends, think about a Burgundy glass. So this is just a standard Burgundy glass. You can see it has the wider bowl at the bottom, narrows at the top. We would normally drink our Pinot Noir and Chardonnay out of this glass. And because those grape varieties are the primary grape varieties in most of our sparkling wines, particularly in champagne, that's an excellent companion. And then the ultimate upgrade, this is one of Riedel's old world Pinot Noir glasses. It's a beautiful glass, thin stem, elegant to hold, elegant to look at. But more importantly, it showcases the flavors and aromas of champagne quite well. So where you have fruit in champagne, you also have all of those bready, toasty, autolytic character. We want that to be able to come out. In some cases, we have some oak influence or some oxidative nature. This is a 2010 vintage. This is going to have some oxidative notes. I want to be able to smell them. I can't quite get my nose into this glass to smell those aromas, but I certainly can in this glass. So much more area for it to breathe. Much, much easier for me to smell the aromatics. Still elegant, still beautiful. The bubbles will dissipate a little bit more quickly, but if you're drinking something that is traditional method, sparkling wine, made in the same method as champagne, those bubbles are going to be really well integrated anyway, so it's less of a concern. So whatever you're drinking tonight, make sure that you open it safely, enjoy it in a beautiful glass, make sure that you smell it, make sure that you sit with it for a while, and make sure that it's a great start to 2021. Cheers to you all.